Alright everybody, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to talk about a project that I haven't given a lot of public attention to, but it definitely deserves a lot of public attention because this is going to be pretty big when PulseChain goes live, and it's going to be something that I'm using myself as an actual use case. So whether or not you choose to invest in the token, that's besides the point. I just want to talk about what this project actually does, and then obviously you make the decision on whether or not you want to be involved in the sacrifice phase for this new product. But I want to talk about what it really is, okay? So it's called liquidloans.io. We've got a really shiny new website in front of us here. You can check it out yourself. And guys, this really follows all the basic principles of crypto that Richard Hart has set that are really true to the core ethos of why we're here, right? Obviously, we're here to make money, but we also like stuff that is admin key free, truly decentralized, no governance, no middlemen, right? And so it's a lending platform where you actually make a loan with yourself and you collateralize that loan with Pulse token. So basically what you're going to do is you put up your Pulse token as collateral and you make a loan with a smart contract between just you and yourself. There's no third party, no admin keys that can hack the contract or anything like that. And then you receive a stablecoin in return, a newly minted stablecoin called USDL. All USDL is a stablecoin that is minted every time the user takes a loan from this protocol, right? And so you're not interacting with any middleman that's corrupt. There's actually no interest fees on these loans. You just pay a small upfront cost to actually mint the loan, a one-time creation fee, and then you pay a small fee on the way out as well. But there is no monthly payment, so it's relatively safe as long as you do not under-collateralize your loan, okay? So the minimum collateralization rate for this protocol is 110%, which means theoretically if you put up $110,000, you can take a $100,000 loan. I'm not recommending anybody really do this, okay? You can try to be a trader and time the market and almost use this as a leverage. You could almost treat it like a leverage play, making bets on the price of PLS, whether it's going to go up or down. But that's not really what we're here to talk about, okay? That's a complex strategy. What we're here to talk about is how can you extract value from your PLS bags without ever having to sell the underlying asset, okay? So that's really the genius of this protocol, and which is working great on Ethereum today. I'll get into that later, so stick around. But wouldn't it be great if you had a way to extract value out of your PLS bag without having to sell the golden goose? And theoretically, you can do that with PLS. As long as the chart on average goes up and to the right, kind of like Ethereum has over the past 4 or 5 years, right? Also with crazy volatility, right? So that's something to factor in. But as long as the asset doesn't go to zero, right, you'll always be able to extract some value as long as the price of PLS is increasing by creating a safe and highly collateralized loan. So there's so much to talk about this protocol, but really it's easier to show a visual example. So I'll point you to the screen right now. This is the Liquid Loans website, obviously a very beautiful website. You know, if you look right in front of you, you've got the white paper. I suggest everybody actually reads this white paper, okay? I read it twice in a row to really understand all the nuances of the platform, but once I read it, guys, I was only that much more impressed. And now I've talked to the founders. They have earned my trust. I've seen what the protocol is being forked from. The protocol is being forked from an existing DeFi protocol on Ethereum called Liquity. That's Liquity. So we're actually going to go through examples of comparing what Liquity has done. It's one of the few DeFi platforms that really is decentralized with no admin keys and really is immutable code, unlike all the other ones that get hacked all the time in terms of how it's been used and how it's actually never been hacked, unlike a lot of other crap out there. So Liquid Loans is a fork of Liquity, yes. We're going to scroll down and just kind of show you at a very basic level what it does. Again, 0% interest rate. So when you're getting a loan by putting up your PLS as collateral, you don't have any middleman to pay a monthly interest rate to, okay? The only risk you have is the price of PLS itself and worrying about, you know, if the price of PLS takes a dip, are you collateralized enough so that you don't default on your loan, all right? Now, again, when you take the loan out, you're actually minting a stable coin called 1 USDL, which is always equal to 1 USD, and that's because you know that a USDL is always backed by $1 worth of PLS token in the user's particular vault. And again, like I just mentioned, there's a 110% minimum collateralization ratio, which I'm not recommending anybody ever go that low. That's more for trading plays. I'm recommending you go with a very safe bet of, let's say, 1,000% collateralization, meaning a 10x collateralization rate. For example, putting up $10,000 worth of Pulse and taking out a $1,000 loan. Okay, so you're extracting some value, but theoretically you're allowing the price of PLS to dip 90% without you getting liquidated. That's what that means, okay? So take a look at the benefits, right? I mean, it's really checking all the boxes that we like in crypto, or that I like. And honestly, guys, I wouldn't be promoting this if it didn't check every single box right here, guys. Interest-free borrowing, immutable, non-custodial, meaning it's just you and the smart contract, no admin keys, no governance, no ability for some middleman or some group of developers to sneak in the back door, change the rules of the system, steal all your money, or just lose all your money by accident, like we've seen time and time again. It's an algorithmic stablecoin, meaning, again, the stablecoin is not backed by dollars at a bank anywhere. When you mint the stablecoin, it's only backed by the value of the PLS that you directly put up in order to mint the stablecoin. So there's no Coinbase, there's no USDC style where there's a bank somewhere and they're allegedly backing all the dollars one for one, like Tether allegedly does, probably not. But there's no potential for corruption there. Censorship resistant and good growth incentives, which we're really going to talk about in terms of the loan token itself, which is what you can actually get involved in early in the upcoming sacrifice phase. So we're going to keep scrolling through this beautiful website. The main use cases, right, are you can borrow to produce USDL token by putting up your PLS as collateral. You can then redeem or basically pay back your loan if you want to ever cash back in your USDL and receive your PLS at any future point in time. You can earn loan token by putting up your USDL in what's called the stability pool. We'll get to that in a minute. I know there's a lot to talk about here. And finally, when you're staking your USDL in the stability pool, you can earn loan token. And then what you can then do with your loan token is stake that within the liquid loan system to receive a small percentage of all the transaction fees, which come from starting and ending loans, essentially. So how does it work, guys? In a nutshell, I'm really glad the website did this so that I don't have to draw all this stuff in a very rudimentary way. They have it really beautifully outlined here. So like I mentioned, guys, how does liquid loans work? You open a vault, okay? They're calling it a vault. This is just a place where you deposit your PLS and you can get whatever ratio of USDL coin in return based on how highly you want to collateralize your loan or how low you want to collateralize it. Again, I recommend high. Then what you can do is you can take that USDL and go park it in what's called the stability pool. The stability pool is there in order to eat up any defaulted on loans. So when you have your coins parked in the stability pool, you're basically saying, hey, if anybody defaults on their loan, I want to cash in that USDL and actually buy that loan from that person, buy the PLS from that loan. So on the opposite side of that coin, if I'm a guy that took a loan and I default on it, I still get to keep the USDL that I minted, but all my PLS collateral goes away. It gets sold off for a really cheap price to one of these people in the stability pool, right? So when you have your USDL in the stability pool and someone defaults on their loan, you're essentially buying all the PLS from that defaulted loan at a really, really cheap rate. For example, if a user collateralized a loan at 200%, basically double what they took out, and then the price of PLS dips 50% or more, let's say 60%, they would have defaulted. So because the new price of PLS is 50% lower, you're actually buying up that PLS with the USDL that you put in there for essentially half off of what PLS actually costs. So if you're bullish on PLS, you might want to park your USDL in the stability pool just in order to be able to snatch up all that cheap PLS, right? Because you're essentially getting these huge discounts on it in the rare case of defaults. And guys, defaults are rare, okay? Contrary to popular belief, I know there's a lot of degens out there and liquid loans could give you hypothetically the ability to be a degen, but you can use any platform improperly, right? It's like saying if I sell you a knife, you're gonna use it to stab somebody or you're gonna use it to cut your food, right? I mean, this is meant to take out safe loans and safe strategies. But in the unfortunate case that people default, and right now this is not happening very often on the Liquity platform, okay? So I was surprised to hear that. People aren't degenning as hard as I thought they would be on this platform, maybe because it's a little more advanced and it attracts a little bit of a smarter crowd, okay? But anyway, back to the stability pool. Not only do you get to snatch up any cheap PLS from defaults, because defaults don't happen often, you're also accruing loan token. So you're earning loan token over time on an emission schedule, which is like basically an inflationary schedule. It gets cut in half every year, which is kind of similar to the Bitcoin inflation schedule. But the loan gets divvied up to everybody that's putting USDL in the stability pool. Now let's say I've got this loan token, which I just received as a reward from parking my USDL in the stability pool. What can I do with the loan token? Well, from there, I can take the loan token and go put it into the loan staking pool. Now the loan staking pool earns me platform fees, right? And what we talked about earlier, platform fees occur on this platform anytime somebody starts a loan and ends a loan. You know, if they start a loan, they're paying a small USDL fee, which gets divvied up to all the loan stakers. And when they're redeeming their loan back and they're taking their PLS back, they're also paying a small PLS fee. So on the way in and on the way out, there's a very small fee, you know, relative to the overall loan size. It's like 1%, I believe. And that fee gets divvied up proportional to all the loan stakers in the staking pool. Now, this strategy right here, this very simple strategy of create a loan, park in the stability pool, earn loan, and stake the loan to earn fees, this is probably the strategy that I'm going to do, honestly. I'm probably just going to park it here because I'm in really no rush, okay? My time preference is very high, and I can afford to wait a while and just accrue the loan token and also wait for the price of PLS to rise, because every time the price of PLS goes up, I can recollateralize my loan and mint even more USDL, which is really the beautiful thing, right? So let's say I collateralize my loan at 10x or 1,000%, and then the price of PLS doubles, right? Well, now I'm at 20x collateral. That's almost too high, right? That's so high that I can afford a little bit of wiggle room. So I can then mint even more USDL to bring my collateralization ratio back down to 1,000%. And it's like being able to extract value as long as the price of a PLS is going up and to the right over time. Now, obviously, you want to watch for any significant dips and make sure that, if you're 10x or 1,000% collateralized, you can't afford a 90% dip in Pulse, right? So although 90% dips are rare, they're still possible. This is still crypto. So if that does happen, you're going to want to be careful. And if it's starting to look like a big dip in PLS might be coming, you might want to add a little bit more collateral. And these loans are flexible, guys. You can always add more collateral. You can always take more collateral away or mint more USDL to lower the collateralization ratio. And you can always choose to repay your loan or redeem USDL tokens for your PLS. And you can always choose to add more PLS to your vault as well. So the freedom that this platform allows you is great. And one more thing I should mention, guys, when it comes to taxes and you're taking out a loan, you're not actually paying tax on the loan. So this isn't the only thing you can do with your USDL, right? You can also take your USDL, sell it for a different stable coin, and either go play around in crypto some more. You can go buy Hex if you want to. You can go buy any other coin if you want to. That can be very risky, not saying I recommend that. You could also cash it out into the real world and, back through Coinbase, maybe a down payment on a house, for example, if you really do well. So USDL is a pretty exciting way to actually bridge your value back into the real world if you want to. I'm probably going to be keeping it in the crypto world for a while, but again, there are tax advantages to buying something with loaned money. If it's a very safe and secure loan and you're not worried about the default risk at all, it could be a way to buy things in real life tax-free, essentially. So the community, testimonials, community's loving it, but I wanted to go hop over to how it works, right? Because they also created a very quick 4-minute video. This will probably say everything I'm saying in a much more easy to understand way. So watch this video, guys. But this is the ecosystem as well. They drew a really nice chart here that is everything I just explained visualized. So look at this graph right here, right? You start with your crypto wallet, your MetaMask, and you've got your Pulse tokens, right? With the Pulse tokens, you create a vault, and with that vault, you can mint USDL according to whatever collateralization rate you want to collateralize it at. Now, again, like I just said, with that USDL, you can go spend it either in the real world or in the crypto world, or you can shift it over to the stability pool, which, again, I'm kind of more leaning to do. In the stability pool, you're earning any PLS from defaulted loans, and you're also earning loan token. Now, loan token is going to become scarce over time, so you can buy loan token in the sacrifice phase, number one, or you can earn loan token by staking in the stability pool, number two, or you can buy it on the open market, which when it hits the open market. There's kind of 3 ways to get loan token, but I'm a fan of just parking my USDL in the stability pool and accruing loan token over time, in addition to sacrificing. And to be 100% transparent, I will be sacrificing for this project. But again, guys, when it comes to bullishness on this project, in terms of Hex, PLS, PLSX, I'd put this at a safe number 4 or 5 in terms of what I'm most bullish for in the year 2022, okay? But I still like this project a lot. So going back to the chart, we're at the stability pool, we're accruing loan token over time. Now we can go cash that loan token out, but that doesn't seem very wise to me. I mean, you can if you want to just sell it and get money from that, as an income stream, go ahead. But you could also stake it in the loan staking pool, and like I mentioned earlier, you can earn USDL and PLS rewards from the platform fees that people are paying every time they're starting loans and redeeming their USDL back to pay off their loans. There's always these transaction fees which get divvied up to all the loan stakers. So the whole point of all of this, of even having a lot of loan, is really just to accrue more USDL and more PLS. It's basically to unlock, in my eyes, right? There's many strategies you can do, but it's really just to unlock, a source of stablecoin revenue and a source of even more PLS, right? You could take that PLS, you can move it back to your wallet, and you can even add more collateral to your loan and rinse repeat in this infinite feedback loop, assuming that over time, in general, PLS goes up and to the right and doesn't die, okay? So it's calculated risk, guys. It's all about calculated risk. And again, read the white paper, watch some of these videos because they might answer a question that I haven't covered yet. But what really gives me confidence in this project is, like I mentioned earlier, it's a fork of Liquity, right? Liquity has had 2 audits that are published, and you can look at them online. I've already checked them out. It's been successful so far. It's never been hacked, and it's only got like 300 members in their Telegram, whereas Liquid Loans already has over 7,000 members. So we're already at over a 20x their Telegram members, meaning there's so much more hype around Liquid Loans. And I'm not sure why Liquity doesn't have more people. Maybe it's because they're not, marketing experts and they're really more technically minded. But Liquity has been very successful. We could see here from this article that it was good enough for Coinbase Pro to list Liquity, right? LQTY token. And LQTY token is the equivalent of loan token, right? Because remember, Liquid Loans is a fork of Liquity. That's one of the cool things about PulseChain. We're taking all the stuff that worked well on Ethereum and we're doing it even better, with even better marketing, a better team behind it. And we're putting all the good stuff from Ethereum onto PulseChain, right? And there's already so much more hype behind Liquid Loans as opposed to Liquity. Now, Liquity seems pretty good, right? But the price chart doesn't really look too great, guys. For the LQTY token, it's pretty much the crap price chart that we see in a lot of different coins and crypto. We'll even switch into the log chart. It's not looking too good. It's really only gone down since its launch, and it launched on April 5th, 2021. And why did this happen, guys? And what can be done so that this doesn't happen in Liquid Loans, right? Well, here's what happened, guys. We're gonna go over here. We're gonna check out the Liquity launch details. So when Liquity launched, the Genesis allocation was only 33% to the community, a big chunk of 25% to the team, and look at this, 33%, guys, to venture capitalists, otherwise known as vulture capitalists, as I like to say. These guys do not ever have your best interests at mind. When you take VC money early, especially in crypto, guys, the first thing they do is they have no incentive to lock up and hold. They just perma-dump forever, right? So I would blame the 33% allocated to VCs as to why you see a price chart like this for Liquity. And Liquid Loans is taking a different approach, right? They're basically crowdfunding instead of taking VC money. And as we know, VCs just dump on your head infinitely. It's opening it up to the public, right? The retail investors like you and I in the sacrifice phase. So make sure you join the Telegram if you want to find out when that sacrifice phase is coming. It's not coming up yet, but it will be coming up, I expect, pretty soon, okay? And the sacrifice phase, by the way, is only going to accept stable coins, USDC, TUSD, BUSD, etc., right? Not hex or anything like that. So you don't have to sell your hex or anything. It's just buying stable coins and sacrificing for Liquid Loans. And now also, one other thing that I know the Liquid Loans team is doing is they are having their founders in a vesting contract. So their founders aren't going to be able to dump on your head either. They're even more so incentivized than you and I to see the product do well. So that's what I like a lot as well, is that all the founding team and the advisors or whatever, they're all putting their money where their mouth is, and they're not cashing out for many, many years, okay? 2 years is the minimum, and they're vesting over time between, I think, 2 and 5 years. Don't quote me on that, but I know they're for sure vesting over a multi-year time period, so you can rest assured that all that immediate sell pressure that we've seen with this terrible chart, it's probably gonna look a little different on loan, okay? Not financial advice, but I expect it to look a little bit different. And if we wanna see some statistics, this is from Dune Analytics, this is how good Liquity is doing. And for some reason, it's kind of flying under the radar. Their community is not that big, and I don't know why. Again, maybe because of poor marketing or something, but people have been earning an average of 17.9% APY staking loan in the last week alone. And I've seen this number be as high as 30, even 38%. But due to the price of Ethereum being down right now, people's APY in dollar terms is dropping. Remember, and you earn ETH for staking Liquity, just like you would earn Pulse for staking loan. So I would say due to the negative price of ETH recently, this just went down, but 17.9%. And again, this fluctuates up as high as 38%. It's pretty good APY. It's a pretty good income stream, if you ask me. I mean, similar to the returns you might make on a hex stake, right? Now, this is only for long-term staking, right? All of this only works if you hold and stake and don't sell the golden goose, right? But to me, it's looking like a pretty successful way to get some ROI every week or every month. And we can even look here. This is even crazier. The all-time average, not just the last 7 days, but the all-time average is 164% APR for people staking Liquity over the course of the past year. So it happens to be a bad week because the price of ETH is down so much, but you can see that people staking their Liquity in the system are doing pretty well. And you can see other dashboards as well. Currently in the stability pool, you're earning about 8% APR for just providing or parking your stablecoin in the stability pool and earning loans. So this APR, I'm assuming, is determined in the USD price of the loan that you're earning from the stability pool rewards, Liquity, because we're comparing this to LQTY. So people are earning an average of 7.9% worth of return in the US dollar basis of Liquity, LQTY token, and they're earning that from parking their USDL in the stability pool, or in this case, it's LUSD. So I know it's confusing, but in Liquid Loans is going to be almost exactly the same, minus their launch schedule and a couple of other key components. Now, if you want to check out the website, I highly recommend you do. There's a lot more about here. We've got information about PulseChain, branding resources, about us. You can talk to the team. I've talked to Jesse, I've talked to Dave, and I'm going to be having them both on again, a stream in the near future. But I definitely trust these guys. They definitely have good interests in mind, and they're forking an admin key-free, decentralized, governance-free platform that's been working successfully on Ethereum. Again, one of the very few things that's been working well. And their team is really an all-star team, guys. So again, this isn't going to be what I'm putting all my money in, right? If you're not into Hex yet, if you're not into Pulse yet, I wouldn't recommend just starting off with Liquid Loans, okay? But it is something to keep your eye on. And although I do believe in the price of the loan token, I don't think the price of the loan token, quite frankly, will outperform PLS itself as a network, or even Hex as a staking coin, because Hex is that store of value use case, and loan, theoretically loan could have zero value, and it would still be worthwhile, at least to me, because you're staking loan to earn platform fees, right? So staking loan earns you a consistent revenue stream of USDL and PLS. So if your goal is to earn more of those two assets, and those are two assets I like. And so guys, I feel like I've only really briefly scratched the surface on this project. And in the future, when I'm streaming with Dave and Jesse again, we can talk about the individual strategies that you can use to basically cycle this into earning even more PLS and more Hex and the assets that you really like. And obviously extract the value in free USDL by staking loan. But I just wanted to mention that I think this is going to be really one of the premier assets, and I'm really happy it's coming over to PulseChain because I think it's going to get a lot of usage, especially for me. Again, I have to say, I'm not recommending or telling anybody to go out and buy loan token or get involved in the sacrifice phase. But even if you're not getting in the sacrifice phase, if you don't have enough dry powder left, or if you want to focus on accumulating more Hex and PLS, consider using this platform and think about how you could use it to accumulate the assets you like. Stablecoin, more Pulse, more USDL. Basically the loan system, by staking loan and staking USDL in the stability pool, it allows you to accrue value over time if you're patient and if you don't sell out of this early on, if you don't get shaken out. But this video has been going on for too long and the algorithm doesn't like it. Not to mention I'm cramming way too much info into this video, so if your attention spans are a little off whack or you're thinking, what am I talking about? Rewind this video, watch it over again, and share this video with people that might want to be interested. And there's a shameless plug for a referral link, right? They also have a referral program. My referral link to join the Liquid Loan sacrifice phase is in the description below. So if you found this video useful, click that referral link. If you decide to sacrifice for this project, I'll get a small kickback as well. Again, none of this is financial advice. I'm just telling you what the system does, why I like it, and why I think it's really going to revolutionize PulseChain. So I'm very excited for this. But as always, thanks, and I'll see you on the next video.